Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater. And Star Wars is a large cultural phenomenon. It always has been and always will be. It's never not going to be that, despite what people out there want to say about it. People keep saying, Star Wars is dead. In fact, if you look at the comments of this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of people saying, Star Wars is dead. Kill it if you have to, blah, 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 whatever. It's not. It never will. There's a reason why people were baited with anticipation this morning, waiting for somebody to reveal the title of episode 9. It came, it went, it didn't happen. It's cool, man. We had video games for a reason. Take away the pain. But here's one thing that I think a lot of people who don't like where Star Wars is at aren't going to be happy with this particular news because of what it effectively indicates. Without a Star Wars movie, Disney studio profits drop. Now, that's something that you should probably never, ever think you would ever hear, which would be that Disney Studios profits drop. In a year where Incredibles broke $1 billion, a lot of other movies did really, really, really well. Well, not so much Wrinkle in Time or Nutcracker. So maybe Incredibles kind of led the charge this year, so to speak. Wreck-It Ralph did really good. I try to remember all the Disney movies that came out. But their studio profits dropped because of Star Wars, without Star Wars. Even Avengers at $2 billion. Black Panther, $1.3 billion. They needed Star Wars to help put it over the edge. Obviously, Solo's failings, not only in May, but having no release here in the winter definitely hurt it, which is one of the reasons why that I still argue that if Solo would have been released in the winter, it would have done a lot better. It would have been a year post The Last Jedi, not 6 months. People would have probably moved on and given it a shot, and it would have definitely fared better than going up a week after Deadpool 2. Let's be honest on that front. Let's all agree, because I think that's where it's at. But the truth of the matter simply is this. Disney needs Star Wars now, probably more than they want to admit. And even though Bob Iger admits that there were some problems with it and that they are probably going to go back to the drawing board a little bit, do not think that we're not going to continuously get yearly Star Wars films once they find their new footing. We are. They're dropping $1 billion on both parks, per park, for Galaxy's Edge, which with any luck, I'll be able to go see in July. I'm so hoping. So, but Disneyland and Disney World, $1 billion each is what they're spending on these parks. So as a result of that, they need to make up the money. That's a big commitment. And not having movies for a couple years while they figure things out, or at least post the last, or whatever episode 9 is going to be, that's still going to hurt it. That is. Star Wars, like I said, is a cultural phenomenon. There's no reason why it shouldn't pull in the big dollars. But the problem with it is, and this is where Disney is going to definitely have to come in, is the problem isn't necessarily even really, I would say, the movies, right? Last Jedi was not a good movie. Still pulled in $1.3 billion. Solo was a better movie than The Last Jedi, $400 million. There was a lot of bad word of mouth on that front. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Rian Johnson attacked the fan base. That other people who worked for Star Wars attacked the fan base. And the fan base struck back. The fandom menace was born. That whole thing had an impact. So much so that people who do not engage in YouTube commentary politics were coming to me and saying, like, did you hear about Solo? I hear the movie's going to suck. Because they heard it from a friend, who heard it from a friend, who heard it from a friend who watched it in a YouTube video. Word travels. Disney knows that. Bob Iger knows that. So this is my prediction. Yes, episode 9 opens up in less than a year, and I am excited to see it. To see the conclusion of the Skywalker saga, to definitely go down that path and enjoy it. But the big thing is this. I guarantee you at Celebration this year, we're going to get a movie announced for Christmas 2020, Christmas 2021, and go on in the foreseeable future. And I think the first movie, I don't think it's going to be Rian Johnson's movies, to be fair, but I think they're already working on shooting a movie this year, getting it ready for next year, and having all that ready to go and announced by the time Star Wars Celebration rolls around, because that is when they need to announce the future. Or we're going to keep seeing more articles like this. Without Star Wars, Disney Studios profits drop, right? Without Star Wars, they're going to be hurting, because we know that when it comes to their live action movies, they kind of suck at it. They do. Disney has not been good in the live action front recently. And I think a lot of that is Alan Horn, if I'm being fair. I think a lot of that's Alan Horn. It ain't Pixar, although under the new leadership over at Pixar without John Lasseter, who knows where that's going to go? Same with Disney Animation. Who knows where that's going to go? Yeah, Frozen 2 is going to gross $1 billion. We already know that. All right. I'm going to want to blow my damn brains out, but it's going to gross $1 billion. But we don't know after that what's going to happen. We don't know if Pixar is going to be able to continuously put out good films. So if they run into this hiccup with leadership not being able to directly, steer the ship, even though they got Marvel, and Marvel under Kevin Feige is going to be something that will probably never screw up for them, but they still need other sources of revenue. Star Wars is where it's going to be. Because that is, if they can make good movies and they put a freaking social media kibosh on the talent, which they have to, and they tell the directors, look, whatever you might be feeling about the fan base, you shut your trap. The writers, you shut your trap. The stars, you shut your trap. You want to bitch about the fans on Star Wars? You create an alternate Twitter account, get your ass out there, and then shit talk like the rest of us. Do that. Fight back that particular way. You don't want anyone to know who you are. Create, I don't know, the chick magnet net handle Wampa 1. And go from there. Anyway, Disney needs Star Wars now, far more than not. And I don't think we're going to be seeing something. I think we're going to be seeing that bump once again to yearly releases, even though Iger's going to be like, well, we're going to pull back a little bit. I don't think so. I think they're going to keep it at once a year. They're going to do a trilogy that skips a year and then an anthology, because that was actually a good metric. And it's not that people would be willing to give legacy character stories more work if there were other films that weren't tied to them directly. People, I think, are wanting more variations. They're wanting more deviancies from the Skywalker saga. And I think that if they do the Old Republic, which they should totally do the Old Republic, they'll make their money back. All they have to do is come out and just say KOTOR, and everyone's just going to freaking jizz their pants. Everyone's going to go, oh! Everyone. Right off the bat, man, guaranteed. So I'll have to wait and see what happens with that one, but that's where my thoughts, my thoughts and my feelings are on that particular front. Anyway, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. I'll leave it to you. What are your thoughts, your opinions? Write them down in the comment section. Toss the video a thumbs up. Support the channel on Patreon if you want to help keep this thing around. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and may the Force be with you.